Hi, and welcome to this demo of the Koantify Checklists app. Koantify Checklists is a voice-responsive application for creating, maintaining, sharing, and using checklists. It uses the technology behind Apple Siri to guide you through your tasks. Here's a brief look at a dialogue between you and the app as you step through a checklist.
Start checklist aims testing. Ask patient whether anything in mouth, and remove.
Check.
Ask about current condition of teeth. If dentures, are they bothering patient now?
Check.
Ask, do you notice any movements of mouth, face, hands, or feet?
Check.
Sit in chair, hands on knees, feet flat on floor. Observe for any body movements.
Check.
Sit with hands hanging down, between or over knees. Observe any hand movements.
Skip.
Open mouth. Observe for any tongue movements.
Check.
Again open mouth. Look again for any tongue movements.
Restart.
Start checklist aims testing. Ask patient whether anything in mouth, and remove.
Check.
Ask about current condition of teeth. If dentures, are they bothering patient now?
Back.
Start checklist aims testing. Ask patient whether anything in mouth, and remove.
That was a brief look at Koantify Checklists in use. As you saw, the app steps through a checklist item by item. It responds to voice commands to navigate the checklist. Development of this app was inspired by studies that show we can reduce errors and get better, more consistent outcomes by using checklists. Checklists are routinely used in fields like aviation, and they're increasingly used in clinical medicine and research. We can also reap the benefits of checklists in other professions, in industrial and trade settings, and in business. Use of checklists can disseminate best practices, provide training, and document that proper methods are used. In short, they help us do things the right way, in the right order, every time. Let's take a slightly more detailed look at the app. In brief, it does two things. First of all, the app allows you to create and manage checklists. Secondly, it steps through or runs a checklist of your choice. Let's first look at how it manages checklists. Here's what the Koantify Checklists app looks like when you start it. It shows your existing checklists and allows you to manage them. You can create new checklists and new checklist steps, as well as edit and delete existing lists. These checklists are all stored on your device. You don't have to use your iCloud account, but you can use it if you wish in order to share lists across multiple devices. Other users of the app can email you checklists as attachments, and you can open these checklists on your device for your own use. You can also use a web-based editor, which we'll describe later, in order to manage checklists on your own computer. Here's how you create a new checklist. Click on the plus sign up in the upper right corner. You provide a name for a new checklist, then add individual items or steps to your checklist. These items are what the app will read and present to you when the checklist runs. After you create checklist items, you can drag and drop them to place them in the proper order. Here's an example of editing a checklist. Click on the arrow to expand a checklist and show its steps. You can swipe left on any checklist item and then click Delete to remove that step. Clicking on an individual checklist item allows you to edit that step, or to change which checklist includes that step. To create a new checklist item, click on the plus sign and enter the text of this step. This is the text spoken or presented to you when the checklist runs. Finally, you can click the Edit button in the upper left-hand corner to delete multiple steps or to drag checklist steps into their proper order. When you're ready to actually use your checklist, swipe right on a checklist name and press Start. The app immediately starts stepping through your checklist. You can use voice commands like check to indicate the item has been done, or words like skip or back or restart to move through the checklist. The app won't listen while it's speaking. You have to wait for the app to finish speaking before it will recognize what you say. You can also just press the controls on the screen at any time instead of using voice commands. As we mentioned before, you can also manage your checklists on the web using a web-based editor. If you have a lot of checklists, this will be easier than trying to create and manage checklists solely on your device. If you browse to Koantify.com and select Tools and then Checklists, you'll find an online editor for your checklists. Let's take a quick look at it. The top of the toolbar has buttons for storing and sharing checklists. You can upload and download from your iCloud account, or open checklists from your computer and then save edited or new checklists to your computer. The checklists themselves are just text files in JSON format that can be copied or emailed. Note that you don't have to be logged into your iCloud account to work with checklists on your computer. Here's an example of opening a checklist that you have on your own computer. After the checklist is opened, we add a new item to one of the checklists, then save it on your computer. Depending on which web browser you use, it's typically saved to your default download directory. In Safari, for example, you can access the Save Checklist by clicking on the little download icon in the upper right corner of the browser. You can edit the names of checklists and edit individual checklist items. To put checklist items in the proper order, you can simply drag and drop them. And you can add new items using the New Checklist Item button, which you find in the blue toolbar. You can delete items in a couple of ways, including right-clicking on an item and selecting Delete, or by selecting it and clicking the Trash control on the blue toolbar. Add a new checklist by clicking on that control on the blue toolbar, followed by Adding New Checklist Items. Again, you can order steps by dragging. Right-clicking on an item also gives you a little menu with convenient commands. You can also select an item and move it by using the arrow controls in the blue toolbar. Here's a right click on an item which shows that little menu. and here we change the order of a selected item using the arrow keys in the blue toolbar. Here we deleted an item by selecting it and then clicking the trash button on the blue toolbar. That concludes our demo. For more information, please visit us on the web. You can also email us at support@koantify.com or reach out to us on Twitter. Thanks for watching.